February is Black History Month, and as an African immigrant who has lived in Canada for, this month actually marks 25 years since I came to Canada. I thought I would come here today and share some of my thoughts about the race question and what I have learned over the past 25 years. Hello everyone, my name is Diekola. Welcome back to this side of life. And if you're new here, welcome and thank you all for joining me today. So jumping right into this video, here are a few of my thoughts about the race question and the lessons I have learned over the past quarter of a century or 2.5 decades since I have been living in North America, or Canada to be specific. The first lesson that I've learned about the race question is that racism or discrimination or tribalism or whatever you want to call it is not restricted to any race. I have said many times on this channel that Canada is a multicultural country, right? There are people from different parts of the world. There are Africans, there are Chinese, there are Indians, there are Europeans, all different kinds of people. And what I have found over these past 25 years living here is that people tend to gravitate towards people that look like them, people that behave like them, people that are from the same place as them, and that it is a natural tendency for people to gravitate towards people that are like them. And it takes some kind of intentionality. You need to be intentional to avoid that tendency as a human being, whether you are black, white, brown, yellow, whatever you are. You need to really be intentional about going out of your comfort zone, out of your own circle, and reaching out to people who don't look like you, people from other races or other communities. I mean, here in Canada, you will notice that even in your place of work or just in the community, you will notice that, Indians tend to live in the same area. They tend to congregate together in the same place. And Chinese also kind of have their own thing like they do. And you always find them in certain areas and doing certain things. And it is just natural. I think it is a natural human tendency. And that, to be able to avoid that and not propagate the discrimination and the racism, you just need to be intentional about reaching out of your own circle and of your own community to other people. So that's number one. The second thing I've learned is that people are people everywhere. Like where I come from, there are many times when people get away with things because there's really no governance over many things. Like people can use their position to do things, that are not really legal, and they can get away with it because they are in a high position and there's nobody to question them, and maybe the police is not really doing their job well, or the judicial system is not working as it should, and so people get away with things. But what I found is, even in this part of the world, like in the developed world, in North America, in Canada, if not because of the fact that the legal system works, the police are on top of their game, and these things are in place, if you do the crime, you will do the time, people will do exactly the same thing as they do in those other countries. So really, the second lesson I've learned about the race question is that despite our races, despite where we come from, we are all human beings at the end of the day, and we are all the same fundamentally. Is just like the different environments that we find ourselves that makes us behave in a different way. So if you take a North American, a Canadian, and put him in Nigeria, before you know it, he will start behaving like a Nigerian because of the environment that he finds himself. And also, conversely, if you bring a Nigerian from Nigeria and put them in Canada, they will start to shape up because they know that if I do that, this is the consequence. So that is the second thing I've learned about the race question, that people are people. We are all the same at the heart of who we are. There's really no difference. It's just the environment that makes the difference. Then this one is very interesting. The third thing I've learned over my 25 years here in Canada is that some people genuinely do not know how to deal with people that are not like them. And what I mean by that is some people have never had the opportunity or the experience of dealing with people from another race. I will use myself as an example. Like some people have never dealt with a black person before. They have never really had to maybe work closely with a black person or have to deal with a black person in whatever way, maybe in the work situation or even as a neighbor or in any relationship. So they genuinely don't know what to do with you. That's what I have found. So as the person on the other side, you just need to give them that benefit of the doubt and try and see their own perspective of things. Just give them that lag, because it is going to take them time to get used to you, to understand your ways of doing things, your mannerisms, because of the way we grew up, because of our background, because of the environment where we grew up, we do develop different behaviors. We respond to things differently, and some people don't understand what to do with that. But when they get used to you, when they get closer to you and they know who you are, they get to know you, then the relationship actually does get better. So that's the third thing that I've learned about the race question. So if you're getting any value from this video, please, this is the time for you to hit that like button and give us a thumbs up, because this helps to grow the channel and get the message out to more people. Thank you very much. All right, so the fourth thing that I have learned about the race question is that whether you talk about racism or discrimination or even tribalism, because really we have to be very honest, in some places in the world, tribalism is even worse than racism. We know all the stories where people kill themselves because they are not from the same tribe. So tribalism, to me, is on the same level as racism or discrimination. So the fourth thing that I want to talk about is that discrimination is actually something that is taught, because I look at little children, and when little children are together, you have this feeling that they really don't see color. They are just little children and they are playing together, and that's all that matters to them. And that makes me think that this racism, discrimination, tribalism, whatever you want to call it, is actually something that people learn. It depends on which environment they are in. What are the adults in their lives saying? What is the attitude of the adults in their lives to people from other races or other communities? And then the children pick it up. I don't think that is something that is innate in people. Comment down below. Let me know what you think. Whether you agree with me that racism is taught, or is it something that people just develop as the behavior by themselves? Let us know in the comment section below. And then the fifth and final thing I will talk about in terms of the lessons I have learned about the race question in North America, in Canada, is that people always feel that other people are racist. People always feel like other people are racist, and they think that they are, I'm not racist, I'm not tribalist, I don't discriminate, but those other people, yeah, they do. So what I find is that, just like the Bible says, that you should remove the log in your eyes before you start to see the mote in another person's eyes. When we talk about this race question, we should be introspective. Think about yourself and how you feel about other races. As an African, how do I feel about white people? How do I feel about Indians? How do I feel about Chinese? How do I feel about other people that are not like me? And I think if we can turn the lens inward and look at ourselves, we will be able to see that we have things that we need to fix in ourselves as well. And if everybody does that, if everybody looks inwards and we all fix what needs to be fixed in ourselves, then I think the world will actually be a better place. Just like the Bible says also that examine yourselves. Are you biased? Do you discriminate against other people? Are you racist? Do you think about other races as being beneath you? Do you think that you are better than other people because of where you are from, because of the color of your skin? Do you think like that? And a good way to look at it is when people want to get married. As African parents in Canada, what do you think if your child wants to marry somebody from another race? Is that something that is okay with you? Would you call that racism? Would you call that discrimination if you don't want your child to marry from another race? I think these are the questions that we need to really, really ask ourselves so that we can really be truthful to ourselves when it comes to this race question that always comes up every now and then. And so in the spirit of Black History Month, I just want to conclude by saying, as Black people, as we celebrate Black History Month, We should purpose in our heart to get along better with people around us, no matter what their color is, no matter what their race is, no matter where they come from, so that we can create that kind of society that we long for. These are our neighbors. Wherever we live, these people from different parts of the world, they are our neighbors. And the Bible says we should love our neighbors as ourselves. And my final thought on this whole thing is that as children of God, we believe that we are all going to heaven. And in heaven, there is no black or white or brown or yellow, or there is no race. So we might as well start getting along from here if we are all looking forward and planning to go to heaven. Happy Black History Month. Those are my thoughts for today. Thank you so much for joining me again. I hope you enjoyed the video as much as I enjoyed bringing it to you. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you know whenever I upload new videos. And also stay tuned to this channel for more interesting content coming your way. Until I come your way again, until the next video, you go out and make it the best days of your life. Bye.